Coming in, government removes mandatory pre-installation of the Sanchar Sathi app. A big development that's coming in. The government, with an intent to provide access to cybersecurity to all citizens, had mandated the pre-installation of the Sanchar Sathi app on all smartphones. The app is secure and purely meant to help citizens from bad actors in the cyber world. Is the pitch that came in from the Modi government. But now what we are learning is that the government has removed the mandatory pre-installation of the Sanchar Sathi app. Remember, there was some pushback coming in from several manufacturers of smartphones who had not given a clear answer yet while the deliberations continued with the central government. But now, given the public response to the pre-installation pitch, the government has removed the mandatory pre-installation of the Sanchar Sathi app. The government had said that it was an extremely popular app aimed at protecting the cyber identity as well as the data of citizens across the country. But the pre-installation mandate was something that did not go down well with consumers and at the same time with the opposition camp, which accused the government of trying another attempt at snooping at citizens across the country, calling it Pegasus 2.0. I'm joined by my colleague Pallavi Ghosh on the broadcast to get more details. So Pallavi, clearly the government also dialing down the pre-installation mandate when it came to the Sanchar Sathi app. Clearly the reaction has come in not just from consumers and manufacturers, but even the pressure came in from the opposition camp.
Yeah, Ayushman, you saw the clarification which actually came in from the minister himself yesterday, and even on the floor of the House in Lok Sabha, he clarified that the app is not mandatory. It's up to the consumers. It is like any kind of app which if you want, you download it. If you don't want to download it, you don't download it. But having said that, the reason is because it said that we don't want to send out a perception that we are dictating to people that what app they need to download. Snooping is not possible. Snooping was never the intention. That's the point which the government made on the floor of the House, the telecom minister. And now this is a formal press release has also come out to clarify that the intention was never for a mandatory download. But no, we have saw a lot of politics also over it since yesterday, where the Congress party, the Trinamool and all of them accusing the government of actually indulging in Pegasus 2.0. Not just that, Ayushman, there were multiple notes inside the Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha because they wanted a debate and discussion and an assurance which was given by the telecom minister in Lok Sabha, and now the latest release which is coming from the government as well, clarifying the entire issue.
Right. And Pallavi, so what is the plan ahead? Will this app now be on the Play Stores, on the Apple Stores for download? Will that be the road ahead? Because
Apple has already registered it. Apple has already made it very clear that we at the most offer a choice, but we are not going to let it become mandatory. But having said that, as of now, the government is not against the idea of of the app remaining there. It's like looking at an app, for example, the Digi Yatra app also. That is not mandatory, but it helps us. It helps the consumers to a smooth sailing inside the airport. Similarly, the government is pointing out and rattled off figures also about how more than 1 crore phones were recovered, were declared to be lost, or they were stolen. They were recovered because of this app. So it is being told to the consumers that it is in your interest so as to safeguard your phones, to prevent any misuse for digital payments, cyber security, national security. These are the reasons why every citizen should download, but we are not making it compulsory. It is really up to you whether you want to use it or not.
Right. And that was the pitch that was coming in from several consumer experts as well, that similar to Digi Yatra, where people were downloading the app because it was only helping them at airports. The similar should be done with Sanchar Sathi, given the government has pointed out that how it's helping ensure cybersecurity. So the pitch that came in from several cyber experts was that it should be on the stores. Government should promote the fact that this only empowers cybersecurity and leave it to the consumers to download it from several avenues. Clearly, the government has said that the pre-installation was something that felt a little heavy-handed when it came to ensuring that a cybersecurity message is pushed out to the citizens across the country.
I remember when the Digi Yatra had first been launched. At that point of time, many people said that our personal details, because it also asked for an Aadhaar card to be linked, and they said that our personal details are now going to become at the disposal of the government. And at that point of time, interestingly, Jyotiradityya Scindia was the civil aviation minister, and he had actually gone that this is not what is happening. You, in any case, use your Aadhaar card to book your tickets, or when you are at the counter to give your identity. All it was going to do is going to streamline the entire process so that it's a smooth sail for people to check in at the airport and get the security check-in done. And slowly, if you look at the figures given out the Civil Aviation Ministry, the number of users or those who downloaded the Digital Yatra app has also been increasing, and it's become an extremely and a go-to kind of an app. Similarly, the case with the Sanchar Sathi app, the government is saying it's up to you, but you yourself will find a benefit. If you've lost your phone and you feel that your phone could be misused to make a payment, a digital payment, this is the way you can ensure it doesn't really happen. So at the end of the day, what the government is hoping is that while it's not mandatory, the consumers themselves will give a thumbs up to the app and download it, and that will become the best benchmark to kind of declare that how this app has been popular.
Absolutely, and the message that came in from the government as well was that so far 1.4 crore users have downloaded this app and are contributing to information on 2,000 fraud incidents per day. So that real-time reporting is also coming in from consumers who are using this app and highlighting the fraud that's taking place on a day-to-day basis given the digital world that we live in. Pallavi, we also saw the politics play out with several people calling it Pegasus 2.0. Is the politics now over, or do you think that the opposition will take this as a win? Right, we'll try to connect with Pallavi there to get more details. But this is the update that's coming in, given the backlash coming in, not just from consumers, but even tech experts. But at the same time, the opposition also claiming that this is a snooping pitch from the Modi government. Now what we are learning is that the government has removed the pre-installation mandate for the Sanchar Sathi app. The government highlighting the fact that this app is only meant to ensure that there is cybersecurity for consumers across the nation. At the same time, it gives a mechanism to the consumers to report online fraud. But given the fact that there was such a backlash over the pre-installation mandate given the Sanchar Sathi app, and also the deliberations were continuing with several handset manufacturers over the pre-installation pitch, the government has now said that that mandate will not be required, that users can download this app and ensure the fact that they are safe. They are safe on the digital platforms that they use. Given the fact that we live in this era, ladies and gentlemen, where we give out our data, our Aadhaar data, our numbers for several government services as well as several platforms. And given the fact that so many cases have emerged of fraud and number cloning, the government mandated that the pre-installation of Sanchar Sathi app was essential. But given the backlash coming in from several mobile handset manufacturers, the government has now removed that mandate. So clearly listening to the consumers on the ground, given the reaction to the mandate to pre-install the app. But at the same time, the government also highlighting that this is an extremely popular app which has helped crack down on fraud. My colleague Aman Sharma is also joining us on the broadcast. So Aman, this doesn't take away from the fact that there are several benefits of the Sanchar Sathi app. The government has put out those numbers. But this mandatory pre-installation is something that did not go down well with several consumers and tech experts.
Well, clearly, Ayushman, I think this is a government which has listened to the citizen voices, the concerns which have been expressed since yesterday, including privacy experts who have come out and said that, you can't really make it mandatory for a consumer. The consumer has the right to choose. If he thinks that through this app, he's more safer from cyber frauds, that if his phone is stolen, it won't be misused, let the person take that call and install that app. But if some citizen believes that this app could intrude into his privacy, let the person not do it. I think that is what the line government has taken. The government is telling the people, look, this app has worked wonders for us to stop cyber frauds, to stop people who are cloning your number, and the government has acted in that regard, taking out from the records lakhs of numbers which were like fake or clone or misrepresenting some other citizen. But at the same time, the government is saying that, okay, if you don't want to download it because you feel that your privacy is going to be violated, so be it. And that is what Jyotiraditya Scindia, also the communications minister, had said yesterday while he was emerging from parliament. Yes, the order the directive which had gone to the mobile operators did not say so. It made it incumbent upon these mobile operators to pre-install the app or push the software update of this app into existing mobile phones. But that has now clearly been, the government has stepped back on it. Also, this also comes, I think, Ayushman, because the mobile operators, the manufacturers, be it Apple, be it Google, they have very clear policies that they will not pre-install any third-party app. It is against their policy, it is against the policy of Apple, it is against the policy of Google. All these companies could have done is maybe push this app through a software update, and if you want to download this app, if it comes as an update. But I don't know how the operators will now deal with this, because operators are very clear, both Apple and Google, that they will not go for any pre-installed third-party app. So that's a big hurdle, I think, also for the government. But I would still say this is the hallmark of the Narendra Modi government. We have seen it in the past many a times. I remember that lateral entry, proposal which had come, which had people joining from outside, but no caste reservation was done in that. The government had also corrected that, say they had brought back that notification saying we'll bring into the caste reservation and then only roll out lateral entry. I think this is the second step where a government is listening to citizen concerns and not going ahead with the step because of the kind of opposition which has come from privacy experts and many citizens at large.
Right. And so clearly, Aman, does it seem that the critical reason why this mandate was taken back was because the manufacturers themselves were insisting on their policy that they will not install a third-party app? Beyond the questions being raised by tech experts and the opposition, is it the handset manufacturers were the key roadblock towards this pre-installation mandate?
It seems so, Ayushman. We can't say it for sure because the government is obviously not telling us those kind of details, but it is very clear that Apple and Google, the two big, I would say, the mobile operators, Google pushing Android into all the Android phones, they are very, very clear. Their policies are very clear that they will not install any third-party app, be it a private app or a government app. They are very clear. They only could have pushed it through a software update. Whether it still happens or not, we'll have to wait and see.